Okay, so welcome to Chimp on Cars. Got a video on forward planning, awareness planning, hazard perception, a little bit of commentary driving. Really good use for not only the driving test but beyond the driving test. This is one of those skills that we all ought to practice, and certainly if we're going for advanced motoring courses beyond the driving test, then this is essential, biggest part of it. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then obviously please do so. We've got a few more interesting things coming up, and the best way to find them is to subscribe. So I'm just going ahead at the traffic lights. Lights are green, so I'm still checking either side just to be sure that there's no emergency vehicles coming and everyone has actually stopped. So when we're driving, it's the looking ahead, planning our route and taking in the information. That information gathering is the most important part, and very important skill. And like all skills, it takes work, it takes development, but the more we practice it, the more we develop it, the more straightforward it becomes. So roundabouts, I'm just checking to the right, obviously, as we always do, and I'm going to give these guys a nice early signal there to let them know I'm leaving. And parked cars on the other side of the road, got a pedestrian, so I'm just looking for oncoming vehicles, looking for the pedestrian to be moving across. Nothing there. Another roundabout, that red car's going around, so I'm just easing my speed down a little bit. No one else following them. Checking my position, checking my speed, and I'm going to signal left to leave there, thinking about position, checking the mirror as I leave, see who's following me into the road. Okay, so we've got speed bumps on this road, so our speed limit is 30. We're obviously limited by the speed bumps. They're here to slow us down, and we are respecting those. So a parked car coming up's on my side of the road, so I'm just checking my right mirror. It is safe to go around. I just want to clear the bump, go around the car, and then check the mirror back in again. Check the mirrors for a left turn as well. We're going to clear this bump, keep it on normal driving position, feeding the wheel in. It's a nice easy turn, but we're in gear 2 anyway because of the speed bumps. Okay, so lots more parked cars here. So again, no oncoming vehicles, checking my mirror to change my position, and I'm looking ahead. Parked cars are potential hazards. We're looking for developing a hazard. Developing a hazard would be where the door opens, a car starts to move, or something starts to develop, something causes us to slow down or swerve. So we were getting to the gap well before that blue car there, so we've just thanked them for waiting. I've got a vehicle behind me as well, so I'm definitely not going to stop unnecessarily to let anybody through. If I'm getting there first, I'm going to continue on first, because the car behind is going to not be expecting me to stop. The best thing I can do for the car behind, even though they're a safe distance back, is to do what's expected. If I start doing unexpected things, then I'm causing a level of danger. We're going right at the lights here, so I'm just checking the mirror, changing my position across to the right, and I'm going to pop the signal on now that we're clear of that junction. Nice place to stop, into neutral, handbrake on. So I'm going to pop my clutch down into gear 1, check the mirrors before we head off, make sure nobody's alongside us, and then turn out to the next road. And just had a quick glance there to make sure that there was nobody jumping the lights. Checking the mirrors to see who's followed me in to gear 3. Okay, so more parked cars on my side of the road and a pedestrian, very wide roads. I'm just checking the mirror for a change of position. No great dangers. Looking ahead, so we do have some red traffic lights up ahead, so they're going to go green. No point in rushing up to a red light. We're in a 30 zone anyway, so these parked cars, I'm able to give them a huge distance there and stay on the correct side of the road, which is handy. We're going ahead at the lights, so I'm just going to change down to gear number 2, so I'll just let the speed drop down, just use gravity to slow us down there where we're going slightly uphill. And I may get away with leaving it in gear 2. Yes, I am. Awesome. A little bit of gas then just to keep up with the flow. Okay, so we've got some buses in the middle of the road. I believe they're waiting to go into the bus area. The one in front looks like it's indicated left. I'm guessing that's probably a hazard light though, because there's making no effort to move. And just check the mirrors there. Yeah, so it's got its hazard lights on there. So obviously from us approaching behind, it did look like it was indicating to pull into the flow of traffic. Certainly something to consider. If you've got your hazard lights on, if there's people behind you blocking your hazard lights, then it could look like you're indicating one way or the other. Okay, so checking the road markings, going to check my right mirror, change my position across to the right. Not that these traffic lights are in operation yet, but good opportunity to get into the correct lane there. And then just checking my left mirror just to make sure nobody's done that from the left hand lane. I'm in a 30 zone, as you've probably just seen. anyway. Okay, so now we're at the pedestrian crossing, that's handy. We're heading out onto the A2 now. We're on the A2 already, so we're heading out towards Tenham and towards Faversham. So this has been reported to be one of the more dangerous roads in Kent in the recent AA reports. So this has been recorded in 2021, May of 2021, and the AA's report has just come out naming this as to be one of the more dangerous roads. We've got obstructions on both sides there, potential danger. Neither of those developed, but it was important that I was aware of them and I was aware of what was going on behind me, just in case something developed. We've got a side road there, nothing even slightly developing there. A red van did pull up, but way after me. National speed limit, so I'm now just going to check the mirrors and it's safe to accelerate, so I will accelerate. Keeping up with the flow of traffic, we've got a maximum speed limit now of 60. And the road surface is very safe. I'm going to go up to 5th gear. And I could potentially be doing 60 miles per hour along this piece here, but we can see a crest of a hill coming up and we can't see what's going on over it, so we're going to watch the vehicle in front, looking for their brake lights, and the vehicle's in front of them, no brake lights coming on. There was slow painted in the road, now we see brake lights and now we can see why. So we'd already lifted off our gas pedal on seeing the brake lights. I'm going to take gear number 2 and approach this hazard in gear 2. So their early brake lights just let me know that before I could see a hazard, that there was a hazard. I'm now going to have to go around a parked van by the looks of things. So I'm checking the right mirror, I will check it again. That looks like some roadworks, fair enough. So I'm positioning to go past them, but there is an oncoming vehicle. And yeah, so I'm just going to let the oncoming vehicle come through there, as soon as the obstruction's on my side of the road. And then I'll check my right mirror again. Still safe to pull away, so I will pull away. Just looking in the right mirror to make sure nobody's overtaking me. Looks like they might be clearing away those roadworks. Into a 30 zone now. So normal driving position's about a metre or so from the curb. We can go a little closer or a little further away if required, but we're normal driving position about a metre from the curb. And we see the dog is on a short lead there. It's good to know. Anticipating any great danger there, but you always need to keep an eye on dogs. And parked vehicles, right mirror check, shift and move position across. So again, we're looking for doors beginning to open, lights coming on the cars, movement between the cars, all potential dangers. Parked cars themselves are not a hazard, they're just a potential hazard. So there's a nose sticking out of that next junction and a car turning in. The car turning is flashing the blue car out, so I'm just going to reduce my speed down. I'm not going to give them any signal to go, but because they were being flashed out, I was just cautious that they might go up on the car flashing them out, and I didn't want to get caught up in any of that. Checking the right mirror again. Now we can see more parked vehicles, oncoming vehicles too. Just adjusting my speed to allow the lorry through, and I'm going to check my right mirror again. A bit of gas to go around, again giving these vehicles a good generous doors width. There's a dust cart approaching me, but I don't need to worry about my position just yet. Now I'm going to start moving back over a little closer to this black car, but I'm not doing 30 miles an hour, and there was no sign of anybody in it either. Good to know. Now I do have a bus approaching me in the distance. I'm going to check my right mirror. I'm going to go around the first of these cars, and then I may just have to slow down a little to let the bus. No, in fact I'm going to maintain my speed and get out of the bus's way with a left mirror check there to come back out. And brake lights in front, we're slowing down for some roadworks and a car turning off. A little bit more brake, clutch down. I'm going to select gear 1 because I'm going to creep forwards just a little there, so I'm going to take my position forward. Looks like we're coming to a dead stop, so I'm leaving a good distance between myself and the car in front. Handbrake on into neutral, and we're looking for mirrors for anyone coming up beside us, bikes, motorbikes. Looks like the lights may well have changed here, so I'm going to go into gear 1, check both the mirrors again, make sure no one's next to us before we pull away. Normal driving position on the approach to the traffic lights, and then another right mirror check as we get closer. There we go. It's safe to move across, so I have moved across. Okay, so all slowing down again. It's a little bit narrow up here maybe, so I'm just keeping a gap between myself and the car in front. There are some work people at the roadworks there. They're looking safe. They're behind a barrier. Parked cars, no signs of any movements. Okay, so now the road's opening up very nicely. I'm checking the left mirror and building the speed up. Still in the 30 zone until we cross the sign. There's the national speed limit sign. the cyclist there, the scooter rider there. As we record this, that's not legal to take one of those on the road or on the pavement. Triangular sign there, slow painted in the road, so there is a junction. It's not concealed from here, I can see well into the junction. There's nobody turning into or out of, so no problem there. Okay, so we're looking at the white lines in the middle of the road, long white lines, little gaps between them, so the more paint, the more danger there is. Arrows encouraging people back in, and now we can't overtake anyway. Another triangular sign, so there's another junction on the right coming up. We can see the traffic ahead reasonably well there, and that silver Mercedes in front showed no brake lights to me as it went over the hill either. Gave me a good indication that we were safe. So we're doing just under 50 miles per hour, and essentially I'm just keeping up with the flow of traffic. I could be going faster, but I don't want to close down that gap between me and the car in front. Short white lines, big gaps between them in the middle of the road, so there's less danger now. And now we can see more danger, lots more paint in the road. We've got traffic, so we've got a petrol station, we've got a junction either side as well. Lots of paint, reserved area in the middle there. Plenty of opportunity for us to go through there, though, no problems. Building the speed up now. The Mercedes in front is going at a reasonable speed. We've got a triangular sign, double bend coming up. First bend to the left, second bend to the right. Mercedes in front is building their speed up above 50, so I'm just following the flow of traffic. I'm not going to do 60 around this bend though. There's the first bend to the left. Another triangular sign, so we've got a junction on the right as well. There's the bend to the right coming up. Just checking my position, keeping in a safe position on the road. There was no other dangers there, but the triangular signs are always there as warning signs. They're there to help us to identify the warnings. So we're well above 50 now, so I'm going to go into gear number 6. Easy piece of road. I can see well ahead. The road surface is good, and the traffic flow ahead of the Mercedes in front is good too. So potential dangers here. Well, we've got a residential property on the left, so we're looking for cars emerging from it. Nobody turning into it for sure. We've got a parking area on the right, and then we're coming up a hill. So the white lines in the middle of the road, the gaps between them will get shorter as the danger increases, and then we've got the no overtaking, solid white line. Now I'm going to go into gear number 5. The car was just beginning to struggle a little bit, plus I don't want to go over the crest of a hill like this with too much speed. So again, there were no brake lights on the silver car in front as he went over, or he or she went over the hill. That gave me a good indication that we were safe. I do have some brake lights in front, but I think they're just checking their speed. Another triangular sign there, so we've got a warning sign, a junction on the left, a junction on the right. So the black car has seen me, they have come to a stop. They had their face pointing towards me, of course. I don't know if they've got their eyes open, but at least you can see that they've pointed themselves in your direction. You can be fairly sure they have seen you. Okay, so going again up a hill, a change of speed limit down to 40. So I've lifted off the gas, letting gravity do the work there. We're doing 40 at the sign. I'm going to change into gear 4 and triangular sign for a roundabout. No need to accelerate, so I'm just lifting completely off the gas. I'm now going to apply a little brake, just bringing the speed down. We're going ahead of the roundabout. So the speed's down. I'm going to take gear number 2. I'm anticipating not having to stop. And yeah, that is good. Keeping to my left hand lane position, and then I'm just going to check the left mirror just to be sure nobody's overtaking before my exits. Okay, the lorries followed us into the road a huge distance behind us. We're absolutely fine, safe from there. So in a 40 zone, we're doing 40, but I've just lifted off the gas because now I see a 30 zone slow painted in the road. We've got some hatch markings here as well, so I'm going to apply a little bit of brake just to get my speed down to 30 at the sign or very close to it. So the white van there does want to turn across my path, but I'm getting there well before them. I was anticipating them waiting, and they did. Brake lights ahead, not sure what for, so I've eased completely off the gas pedal, just letting the car just drift down here. I'm neither braking nor accelerating, and now I'm braking in fact. Looks like somebody's turning off, so I'm going to put the clutch down. Yep, they've turned already, so I'm going to go to gear 1, keeping a nice gap between us and the silver Mercedes. And then back into the flow. Gear 2, looking at the junction. We've got some pedestrians on the left as well. Pedestrians are well away from the footpath. Okay, so normal driving position up the crest of the hill. I can't really see what's going on ahead, but they're looking for brake lights on the vehicles in front. Looking quite safe there. 26 miles per hour, we're coming into speed camera. Okay, some more pedestrians on the right hand side. You can see some brake lights up ahead. Yeah, in fact there's a car up ahead turning right. They've made their turn. Back on the gas. So looking well ahead, we have a very easy straight road here. We need to maintain 30 miles per hour. It would be easy to go too fast. They want to cross our path, but again we're getting there well before them. Very slight chance they would try and nip across before us. Okay, so we've got a parked vehicle on the left hand side and a couple of pedestrians. Is that the indicator on that parked vehicle? It is. No, it's not. It's the hazard lights. So I'm going to check my right mirror, prepare to move across. Obviously hazard lights are on. There's no guarantee they're not going to move, but we wasn't expecting them to move. We still gave them plenty of room and was prepared for the worst. Just checking the speed there, just drifted a little above 30, so just eased off the gas to correct that. There's a car trying to pull out of the junction ahead, so they may well have time with that gap in front of me there, so we're prepared for them to take it. They're not going to take it, that's absolutely fine. We're certainly not going to flash them out. We've got a huge gap behind us, they can make their own way out, in fact they just have. So another car trying to emerge from a junction, so there's a lot of traffic coming towards us. They're probably not going to go. Just keeping an eye on them. They've definitely seen me, and yes, I feel quite safe going through there. That's fine. Huge gap behind us, and they've taken that. Pedestrian, he's wandering about a bit on the pavement there, but no, he's quite safe. He's fine. Just looked as if he was heading towards the road for a moment there, so just brings it to your attention a bit more, just to keep him safe. We've got somebody here with a pushchair and a mobility scooter. There's no issues there. Brake lights up ahead, so somebody up ahead's turned right. And the flow of traffic has continued on. Somebody emerged from the junction up ahead, caused the guys in front of me to have to brake, but they're clear of me. That bus will wait for me, I should have thought. Yep, they're still straightening up, so it would have been inefficient of me to let them go, since I've got such a huge gap behind me. And the taxi's pulled into the bus stop. Fine, okay, so we're just making sure they're not about to pull away again briskly. No, they're still there even now. Okay then, so I hope that's been of use. So forward planning, looking well ahead, it's a good skill to have and to develop, and it's not something that you're going to pick up instantly. It's something that takes time to develop, well worth the effort. You will have a much more pleasant driving experience if you are planning your journey ahead and looking well ahead and identifying those dangers up ahead. So follow us for more.